Hey, friends, I'm taking y'all someplace here in Savannah that I have never brought y'all. And Eddie was just saying, Paula, you know how everybody goes to the Masters to just see the azaleas that are in bloom? Well, down here, you come to Bonaventure Cemetery to see the azaleas. So Eddie and I are going to take you on a quick tour. This is the most beautiful cemetery, and this is where I would like to be laid to my final rest. I don't know if there's anything available. Everybody's been dying to get in here.
You know, when I first moved to Savannah, this is what I've discovered it, and weirdly, I mean, I just fell in love with it. I would spend free time just walking, especially in the spring. Every
It's just incredible. And we're not in one of the prettier spots right this minute.
No, we'll get on the main drag.
We are going to take y'all to an old grave that a little girl named Gracie is buried in. And back during the Civil War, wasn't it during the Civil War, Eddie, that's there, Gracie, see the sign, Eddie, right here, but see the sign?
Yeah.
See the sign? It says Gracie section. And that is her, little Gracie. And look at all the money that people have dropped down here, Eddie.
Yeah, I was told
look, even dollar bills.
The Girl Scouts, I think, come here. Since Julia Gordon Lowe is from Savannah.
Yes.
We get lots and lots of Girl Scouts here, and they come and kind of
maintain
care of her.
And the azaleas are about to be over with right here at Gracie's grave. So I'm going to read y'all the plaque right here. It says, little Gracie Watson was born in 1883, the only child of her parents. Her father was manager of the Pulaski House, one of Savannah's leading hotels, where the beautiful and charming little girl was a favorite with the guests. 2 days before Easter in April 1889, Gracie died of pneumonia at the age of 6. In 1890, when the rising sculptor John Waltz moved to Savannah, he carved from a photograph this life-size, delicately detailed marble statue, which for almost a century has captured the interest of all of passerbys. There's many highly regarded people buried here. Johnny Mercer was laid to rest in this cemetery. The author, what was her name?
Conrad Aiken is
Conrad Aiken, but the lady that oh my gosh, she had a home downtown, and I used to do catering there. What was her name? It slipped my mind right now, but I'll think of it. And who else is here, Eddie?
Let's see. Photographer Jack Lee is here. And most early Savannians are here.
Yes.
With their family plots. And probably what made Bonaventure really famous was the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil being filmed here.
That's right. Jack Barrett was just in town celebrating the 25th anniversary of his book, his most successful book, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And there was a grave out here that had the bird girl. And didn't she have a set of scales?
Yes.
But people would not leave that grave alone. And finally, they had to take that statue, and I think it's in the Telfair Museum now, right?
Yes. Well,
just like the bench that Forrest Gump sat on. People kept messing with that, so I think it's even in the Telfair Museum.
Well, Gracie became so famous, they had to put her inside. She used to be not inside a fence like that.
Right.
She used to be able to go up to her, and she would just be covered with flowers. People would leave, but I think they were afraid someone might steal, so they enclosed her. But speaking of benches, let's go.
That carving is beautiful. Okay.
He has a beautiful bench stone.
Yes. Johnny Mercer, for those that are too young, he was a fabulous composer. You know, Moon River. He actually wrote that out on Moon River. It's been a very popular song for years and years and years. Moon River, wider than the sky. I can't remember the words, but it is still a beautiful song. So y'all, this is Johnny Mercer's grave. This precious woman right here was a good friend of mine, Nancy Mercer. And I can't believe she died in 2013. She was the sweetest girl. In fact, we were neighbors, and she actually gave me a recipe. That's when I was writing Just Desserts book, and Nancy came down to the house, and she made Benny C wafers because she said every Christmas after Johnny became famous and in a period when he was working real hard, he would be out in California. So they would have to cook all this stuff and box it up and send to him. And she said Benny wafers were always in the box. I love you, Nancy. But here is his bench, and there is some of his song titles, like Come Rain or Come Shine, The Days of Wine and Roses, Hooray for Hollywood, In the Cool, Cool, Cool of the Evening, One for My Baby, Skylark, Something's Gotta Give, That Old Black Magic, You Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby. So that's just a few of some of his most famous songs. And Nancy, his niece, had a great voice. She could sing. I'd get her to sing to me all the time. I was telling y'all that if we walked straight, we would hit the river. And I think that's one thing that is so beautiful and appealing about this cemetery. The fact that it's on the river. Now, Eddie, what is this one right here? Is that a mausoleum? And can you read the names up there? John? Yeah, Monson. This is open right here. I didn't realize it was open. Let me go in and see what I can find. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Is there a bunch of folks in? There is. There's a bunch of folks. Sarah, David, another Sarah, Edmund, David, Jane, Sarah. They believed in a lot of Sarahs. Benjamin, Joseph, and another Sarah. It's a river, y'all.
So when I was in college, my roommate and I, we were driving. We drove out here one time just to see it. And when we were driving around and found out the walk, we saw all this marble that they had put on the banks of the river here.
Who had?
I guess the cemetery, when they were done cutting stones, and they would
I got
layer
you.
the banks of it, and they were big slabs.
How much did you take?
We had some really nice end tables and coffee tables for
No, no, that was a great idea.
Yes.
Is there any left down there, do you think?
I don't know.
Because we could stand a coffee table, couldn't we?
I don't know that I would dare go down there.
Yeah, you don't have those kind of guts anymore, do you? Now that you've gotten older and wiser?
I don't think I have the back for it either.
Look right there, Eddie. There's an artist. I think we ought to go down and see what he's doing, what he's about. And tell us your name.
My name's Kip Bradley. I'm with the Telfair Museum.
Uh-huh.
And we have a plein air group that meets on Fridays at different locations all throughout Savannah. And there's about 20 of us that get together, some in the morning and some in the afternoon, and we all just paint the beautiful
That's
city
great. And do you choose where you want to be? Is everybody in different spots, or
we meet,
or do you all settle on
year round? So we kind of hit the same spots over and over again. So some of them I pick them mostly. I picked this one obviously because I knew the azaleas would be blossoming, and it'd be a good time of year.
Well, it's not a more beautiful spot.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous place.
Not a more beautiful spot. Well, thanks for letting us interrupt y'all.
No problem. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Now we're in the car right now, y'all, and we are leaving. We're close to the entrance and the exit here of the cemetery, and it's a little bumpy road, so that's why we're bouncing around. And they have a new part of Bonaventure, but there is really not a whole lot of anything special about that. Like I don't recall any trees being over there, or it's all
forest
like forest lawn, yes. But I know there's one grave over there that people might come visit a lot. And I can't remember his name, but he is the young man that Jim Williams. He is the young man that Jim Williams shot dead in the library of Jim Williams' home.
Danny Hanson.
Eddie Hanson.
Danny.
Yeah, that's right. His name was Danny Hanson. That was all just a real sad story, but didn't John Barrett cover all that in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil?
Yes.
Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed the tour that Eddie and I did for you. If you come to Savannah,
especially in the spring, you must come out to Bonaventure and see everything. I'm fascinated by old cemeteries. I love reading the tombstones and all of that. So this is the exit. And look at how many graves in that one right there, Eddie. That very first plot that you come in. And I wonder who's in that mausoleum right there. I don't know. But if you are in Savannah in the spring, the date of today is March the 15th. We're 2 days away from celebrating St. Patrick's Day. It's actually on a Sunday, but the celebrations are lasting all weekend, and the parade will be tomorrow. So if you plan on coming to Savannah, try to arrange it in the spring when the azaleas are in bloom, because it does not get more beautiful, does it, Eddie? It does not. And usually the peak is maybe the week before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. It really depends on how much cold weather we've had. And we've had a very, very light winter. Don't you think, Eddie?
Oh, we did.
Just a few days that got below freezing. So love and best dishes, y'all. And don't forget, Bonaventure Cemetery is a place to die for. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.